Ninja, welcome back to my channel. Today is the second episode of breaking down the call flow wherein I tackle each step of a basic call flow in one video. So last time I talked about the opening part of the call flow, and this time we are going to talk about the acknowledgement, empathy, and reassurance part of the call flow. So if you're interested, then keep watching. If you're new here, my name is Rhea, and on this channel, we're all about real stories, career, call center lifestyle, and tips so that you can begin, enjoy, and survive. So if you like that content, be part of the Ninja Squad and our little community by subscribing. Just click the red subscribe button below. So let's begin. But first, please listen to this very important disclaimer. The call flow that I'm going to break down is the most common one, which is also what I've used when I was still working in a call center. In this note, please keep in mind that your account or company may have a similar call flow or an entirely different one. But usually the basics are the same for almost all call centers. Now, this part of the call flow is right after the part when you ask, how may I help you, from your customer, and then your customer gives you or provides you the concern or the story about what's happening and what she needs to be done. I have always mentioned in my previous customer service videos that before doing anything, as soon as the customer provides the concern, you have to think of the feelings first before facts. And that is where the AER statement gets in or comes in. Acknowledgement, empathy, and reassurance. And so, just so all of us will be on the same page, I searched for the actual definitions of the three. So when you say acknowledgement, it is the acceptance of the truth or existence of something. Of course, we all know what acknowledgement is, just based on context, but by definition, this is it. You accept that that happened or that situation happened, and that is the truth, and that is a fact. And when you say empathy, it is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another, or the capacity to place oneself in another's position. So empathy can be a very broad term or statement, but we like to refer to it as a situation wherein you put yourself in your customer's shoes. And then lastly, we have reassurance, or this is the action of removing someone's fear or doubt. So right after you acknowledge and empathize, it is very important that you assure the customer that you are there as the subject matter expert. You are there to help the customer resolve the concern, which in turn will remove their doubt and their fear about the situation. So that's the formula of responding to the customer's concern. Most of the time, the acknowledgement and the empathy statement overlap. When you provide your acknowledgement statement, it's most likely also your empathy statement. So they kind of overlap, and it's okay as long as you have acknowledged and you have empathized. So an example would be, I understand how fees can really add up and get costly. So that is the acknowledgement part. You are acknowledging that yes, the fees can really be expensive. And then you empathize. You understand what's happening. You can say that's frustrating that your account was charged several times. So you empathize, you understand, you're putting yourself in the customer's shoes. And then you reassure by saying, don't worry, you've got the best person on the line to help you. That sounds very confident, which is why when you say that, you also have to make sure that you are really able to assist the customer. But if you're not comfortable saying that, you can say something like, rest assured that I will do my best to resolve your concern in this call so that you won't have to call back. So that's my entire sample statement for AER. To put that together, here it is. I understand how fees can really add up and get costly, and that's frustrating that your account was charged several times. But don't worry, you've got the right person on the line to help you. Rest assured that I will do my best to resolve your concern in this call so that you won't have to call back anymore. And boom, that's your powerful statement. Now, how do you sound confident even though you don't exactly know how to resolve the customer's concern? So for example, the customer already told you, so this is what happened to my account. I don't know why there was a fee. I don't know why there was a charge of this amount. It's very huge and I just can't afford it. So since, let's just say you are still trying to learn the ropes of the job and you don't know yet how to answer that concern or how to resolve that concern, you can still sound confident. It's okay if you don't know yet how to assist the customer. Just deliver your AER statement and then you can think about what to do next when you are already checking the account. But at this point, you are still in that part of your call flow wherein you are empathizing, you're reassuring the customer. So even though you don't know yet how to assist the customer, it's okay because you will figure that out later. The most important thing is you respond with confidence right away, because the tendency is when the customer says a concern and in your head you're already thinking, I cannot help this customer, then you will sound unsure and you will sound not confident. So instead of thinking of what to do or how to assist the customer, then just say it right away. Say the acknowledgement, empathy, and reassurance, and then figure out later what you need to do to assist the customer. Now, if it is just an inquiry, of course, we're so used to hearing complaints and negative feedback or problems, but we forget that sometimes customers are really just calling to ask, and there's really no problem at all. And if that happens, avoid saying no problem, ma'am, because it really sounds like there might be a problem even though there is no problem. So use positive scripting. If you need help with that, I have an entire video that I did before. I will link it up there. It's very helpful, so go ahead and check it out after this video. So going back, if it's just an inquiry, then sound genuine and sound just, natural. If the customer says, I just need to see if I can book a hotel room next week because I'm going to spend 5 days for my vacation or my time off from work. So if the customer is very eager to tell you the story, then just respond accordingly. Tell the customer, sure, I will be very glad to check it for you, or I will be very glad to check that for you. Now that statement is generic, and if you know me, I am not really into generic statements because they don't sound personal and customized. So you can say, sure, I'd be very glad to assist you with that, but what is that? If you want to make it more personal or more customized, then you can say something like this. Sure, I'd be very glad to check out the available rooms for you. So that versus saying, I will check out the available rooms for you. It sounds more personal and it shows that you're actually listening to what the customer just said because you were able to rephrase it in your statement. Another example is when customer says, I'm traveling for 1 week to Paris and I want to see if you have cheap flights for me that I can book today. So notice that the customer is kind of telling you a story that she's traveling. So there's really no inconvenience, at least not yet. There's no complaints. She's just telling you that she wants to see if there are cheap flights that you can book for her at the moment. So sound genuine, sound very interested to help the customer. You can say something like, sure, I'd be very glad to check out some flights for you. It's really nice to know that you're traveling for 1 week to Paris. I heard it's a really nice city. You gotta make it professional, so avoid unnecessary chit-chats because it will just lengthen the call and it might sound awkward as well. That's about it for today's episode of Breaking Down the Call Flow. I hope you've learned something about the AER formula or statement. If you need more sample verbiages and statements about those three, I have an entire video about that as well. Link up there, so check it out after this video. A lot of people say fake it till you make it, but why should you fake it when you can be genuinely and truly there to help your customer? And that's also one way of loving your job, because you are thinking that it's not a burden, but rather it is a way for you to help your customer with the concerns. So there, thank you so much for watching and for listening. Next video is already episode 3, so we're going to talk about account verification and some tips and tricks to nail that part of the call flow. So again, if you like this content, please like, subscribe if you haven't, share this video to anyone who can benefit, and see you on the next video. Take care.